Hola y bienvenido. In today's Spanish lesson, you will learn how to form questions with question words and with the verb ser, con el verbo ser. You will also learn how to answer those questions once they are made. Are you ready to learn some Spanish? Very good. All right, let's start. And of course, we're gonna start with some rules to know. This is grammar, and grammar has rules that we need to follow in order to learn. But don't worry, these rules for today are very simple. Also, at the end, I have a couple of activities that you need to do in order to learn more Spanish, because you will learn how to write those questions and how to read those questions and how to answer them also. So make sure that you stay all the way through. Remember, this is a way to learn, the correct way to learn Spanish. Let's begin. So rule number 1, to ask a question that may be answered sí or no, just raise the pitch of your voice at the end of the question. The subject, if included, can go before or after the verb. And this rule applies to almost every language. I know it does in English. But I have some samples. Let's continue. So ejemplos. Remember, ejemplos means examples. Okay, so I'm going to start using more words in Espanol rather than English. That way you can get used to the voice, that Spanish voice, going into your ear senses. Okay. Ejemplos. Question. ¿Eres extrovertido? ¿Eres extrovertido? So, right here, it's at the beginning. The verb ser, the conjugated verb, it's at the beginning. So every time you want to ask a question, you can use the verb at the beginning. And remember that in Spanish, you don't need to use the subject. The subject is like a ghost over here at the beginning, okay? Or right here, because once you know once the person who is receiving the question or the message knows who you're talking about, in Spanish there is no need to include the subject, remember, okay? ¿Eres extrovertido? Otro ejemplo, another sample. ¿Tu amiga es simpática? So we have the subject, tu amiga, es the verb, and simpática, it's the adjective, okay? So right here, it's in the middle. ¿Tu amiga es simpática? Is your friend friendly or loving? And right here we have it at the beginning again, but the subject at the end, okay? So there is 3 ways that we're doing it. ¿Es simpática tu amiga? ¿Es simpática tu amiga? Now, remember that the accent that you give when you're asking a question, it's like you made the last part a little bit like longer, okay, and you give it a different tone. Now this is the advantage between someone who is not a native person to another one who is native. Another question that I've been asked a lot is why in Spanish we have the question mark upside down here at the beginning. Well, to answer this question, very quick and very simple, is because when you see the question mark at the beginning of a question, in Spanish, when you see this question mark, you know that it is a question right away. Unlike English, in English, you don't see the question mark all the way at the end. However, sometimes, or most of the time in English, the question words at the beginning will prompt you that it is a question coming up, or that in particular is a question. So same thing in Spanish, okay? We have the question word, and then we have the question mark. So it's like a double, okay? That's why we use a question mark here at the beginning to know that it is a question right away from the beginning, so that way you know what kind of what kind of tone you should give. Okay. All right, and listen to the appropriate tone. ¿Es simpática tu amiga? ¿Es simpática tu amiga? You see how I stretch it at the end? ¿Es simpática tu amiga? Okay, rules number 2. You can answer a question like the previous questions with sí or no. Okay, this sounds like a short answer, but it is not a short answer. You can say the word no twice in your answer. Once to mean no, and the other time to mean not. Okay, so when someone asks you a question, you can answer with sí or no. Okay, and then the word no, you can write it down or say it twice, which one time will mean no, and the second time will mean not. Okay, let's look at some examples. Ejemplos coming up. Come on. There you go. Ejemplos. ¿Eres atlético? No, this is a question. Are you athletic? ¿Eres atlético? ¿Eres atlético? Are you athletic? And how will you answer? Sí, soy atlético. Yes, I am athletic. Now we have the sí right away with a comma, followed by the conjugated verb and the adjective. Sí. Now, every time you see the accent right here, the tilde, you give it a hard tone right here. Sí. Sí, soy atlético. Sí, soy atlético. Okay. Or if you want to say no, we have the two no's right here. No. No soy atlético. No, I am not athletic. No. No soy atlético. No. No soy atlético. Remember to repeat. I forgot to tell you. Remember to repeat after me. This is the only way you're going to learn how to say the words, how to pronounce them, and everything. So don't just be looking at the screen and with no action. You have to put some action on. Okay? So repeat it. No. No soy atlético. Regla número 3. Rule number 3. You can ask for more information by using question words. And I'm going to give you those words right now. Notice that all question words are written with an accent mark. It is known as tilde in Spanish. There are a lot of 3 or 4 ways to call it, but most of the time they call it tilde. Okay, you're going to look at it right now. Some people call it acento ortográfico, acento diacrítico. It just depends, okay? But for now, we're going to call it tilde. It's right here, tilde. Okay, so what are those question words that we're talking about? Well, we're going to learn them right now. Let's go on. Ejemplos. Here they come. More ejemplos, más ejemplos. And the first question word is ¿cómo? ¿Cómo es Paco? Repeat after me. ¿Cómo es Paco? What's Paco like? You don't have to repeat the one in English, okay? Just repeat the one in Spanish. Unless you are learning English in some other country, this will help you right here. ¿Cómo es Paco? ¿Cómo es Paco? And here is the tilde, here is the accent that rule number 3 is talking about. And the question word is at the beginning. All question words are at the beginning, okay? And the question marks, okay? Question word, verb, conjugated verb, ser, and noun or person. Uno más, okay. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Repeat after me. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? When is your birthday? Okay, so the question words, you need to remember them. You do your best to memorize them, to remember them, how to pronounce them, how to write them, how to read them, because these question words are very, very useful. You're going to be using them as you go along for the rest of your Spanish learning career. So learn them right now. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? When is your birthday? Okay, so we got two down. Third one. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? Now, once you get more speed in your Spanish, this is gonna seem like it's together right here. Okay, a lot of people say ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? Like when they answer the phone. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién habla? ¿Quién es? Okay. Who is he or she? ¿Quién es? Don't forget to repeat. ¿Quiénes son? ¿Quiénes son? ¿Quiénes son? Okay, now right here, this is plural. ¿Quién es singular for one person. ¿Quiénes son is for plural. ¿Quiénes son? Who are they? ¿Quiénes son? Okay, let's go on. And before I go on, I'm going to invite you to subscribe. If you are watching this video, subscribe. Or you can just continue learning. I want to teach you a new language so you can become bilingual or trilingual. Okay? Next one. ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? What day is today? And a lot of you remember this from the first or second lesson in chapter 1, okay, when we learn those words to introduce people or introduce the dates and times. You know, all of these are going to be popping out here and there. So it is very good, so you can learn them easier. ¿Qué día es hoy? Don't forget to repeat. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? Hey Pedro, ¿de dónde eres? Hey María, ¿de dónde eres? Juan, ¿de dónde eres? Or William, ¿de dónde eres? Where are you from? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? And I'm sorry, I forgot to add right here in order to make it a perfect sentence. I should have written ¿cuál es tu número right here? Tu número de teléfono. ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? If you really want to translate it exactly as English. What's your phone number? Or what's your telephone number? I'm sorry. What's your telephone number? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? Now here again, you know, when you gain speed or when you hear the native speakers, they don't say cuál es. They don't separate the words. They say cuál es, cuál es, cuál es, cuál es, cuál es. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Okay. And that's when you're gonna hear like, oh my God, when I hear people speaking Spanish, it seems like one long word with no pauses. Well, that's how I heard English when I was learning English. Just one big long word with no pauses. But that's how it is, okay? Once you learn more Spanish, you will be able to tell the spaces. Or when they're together, you will be able to tell the difference between one word and the other word. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Oh my God, we're done. Whew, okay, well, I am done, but I'm going to give you some activities. Actividad. This is gonna help you. If you're not doing the activities, I will recommend you to do the activities. Why? Because by doing the activities, you are expanding your knowledge. You are learning faster. You are learning not only how to speak it, but how to write it and how to read it. Okay? So there are 3 things that you need to do: write, read, and write. And the speaking will come easier. Actividad: escribamos y hablemos. Read the following passage, then answer the question. I'm going to read this passage for you, but then after that you can read it on your own. And then after you're done reading it, then you can answer the questions that follow. Now, all of these words, you should know them. As we progress together into the next lessons and everything, these passages are going to get longer and longer and longer. So, at the beginning, I was giving you like 1 or 2 sentences for a passage. Now we are at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 10 to 12 sentences, okay? When I teach, I know that at the end of the semester or for a test, I do require like 25, 30, 50 sentences, around 150 to 200 words, okay? That way I push my students, or ex-students, I should say. So, here we are. Hola, me llamo Rosa Rodríguez. Soy de Puerto Rico. Tengo 20 años. Soy alta, morena y muy extrovertida. Mi mejor amiga es Carolina. Ella es de México. Tiene 25 años. Es seria y bastante tímida. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo eres? Okay. So, if you understood what I just read, don't have to read it again. I will recommend you to read it yourself, to read it aloud to yourself, and again, you can also record it record it in a recording machine on your phone, and then listen to yourself reading it. That way, you know the progress that you are doing, or have somebody else hear it. All right. So enough of that. Let's go with the questions. Okay, so these are the questions. ¿De dónde es Rosa? ¿Cuántos años tiene? ¿Es rubia o morena? ¿Cómo es Rosa? ¿De dónde es Carolina? ¿Cómo es ella? And I am sorry, I don't have the answers for you to give you, but if you want to check them out, if you want to check the answers that you didn't write me a comment in the video comments. And ask me, what are the answers? Okay, if you ask me that, I will give you the answers. Okay, I have another activity for you today. I have another one, actividades número 2. This one is also, and this is the first time I'm going to do this type of activity, which is very good as well. Escribamos y hablemos. Form questions using the question words according to the given answer. One of the objectives for this lesson is for you to form questions and know how to form it and know how to answer them and know how to read them. Well, this is the last of the objectives, okay? So you're gonna form questions. And how? Okay, I'm going to explain you right now. So I'm giving you the answers. These are the answers to the questions that you need to form, okay? And maybe you are asking yourself, so how do I supposed to do that if you don't know the question? Well, let me give you an example, because you are going to form the question that goes with the answer. And here we go. Ejemplo. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? What is your name? And this question goes with this answer. Okay, so the answer, la respuesta means answer. So la respuesta está aquí. It's here. Me llamo Gisela Ríos Perales. So, for this next respuesta or answer, you are going to form the question. Okay, so soy de Burgos, España. So in other words, she's saying I am from Burgos, España. So how will you ask that question to someone? How will you ask someone where he or she is from? Okay, so write that question down. And same thing over here and the rest of them. So you're going to be forming questions now. You're working backwards. I love to do these kind of exercises. Very well. So I hope that you had fun today. Let me see. Is that all? Yes, it is. Oh my God. This is the end of the class. It was a short class. Don't forget to subscribe to continue getting your free classes. I know. I am not doing it as often as I wish. I'm doing this after all of my other activities, work, family, and all of that. So this is on my own time. However, I am trying my best, and I promise, well, I should not promise, that I am going to be doing at least 1 to 2 classes per week. So stick around, and you will be getting these classes. If you are very committed, just keep on checking or subscribe so that way you can get a notification when the next class is coming up. All right, es todo por ahora. Gracias, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.